Conan, what is best in life? To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of their women. That is good. That is good.
Hello, welcome to Wahoo Warrior. This is your host, the Wahoo Warrior. Just kidding. This is the battle report number 3 of 3 down at Tabletop Game and Hobby Shop in Overland Park, Kansas. And this final match here is going to be against Orcs and Goblins, which are always a fun battle, usually. That's my other army I play quite a bit, is Orcs and Goblins, so I'm pretty familiar with them. Just wanted to take one more second to, again, tell everyone who cares that this hobby shop and the people there were all top-notch. I left there driving home really happy that I went to the game shop down there and took the drive, and I'll be going back again. So to get into the next battle, the first thing I have to say is out of one of my favorite movie clips is this.
The army doesn't like more than one disaster in a day.
Looks bad in the newspapers and upset civilians at their breakfast.
That being said, I just came off a pretty good loss to the Tomb Kings, and I'm planning to get a little retribution here. I always like to go into a tournament winning more than I lose, so this is my chance to get ahead. On the far right here, he's got about, I don't know, man, 50, 60 goblins. They all have short bows. He's got a level 4 Night Goblin Wizard in the corner there. Next to them, he has 20 Night Goblins with short bows and 3 Fanatics. He's got 5 Orc Boar Boys back behind that Mangler Squig. Everyone knows what Mangler Squigs can do. I do not want that thing getting anywhere close to any of my units, especially my small ones. They'll just evaporate them. And then in the middle there, he's got a big bus of Savage Orcs, and they're big uns. He's got the level 4 Wizard in there, Orc Wizard, with a Lucky Shrunken head, and you know, that always makes them really tough. These savages have bows, which is something you don't see all the time. It's interesting, and he's got a Shaman or a BSB with a Poison Banner stuck in there too. So then he's got another 20 Night Goblins with 3 Fanatics and an Orc Boar Chariot. And then he also has over on the far left, and this is after vanguarding, he has 20 Wolf Riders. And then he actually takes first turn. So he starts with first turn and he moves them right up there, an inch away from my Rangers, who are, you know, just kind of basically doing nothing over there. He's going to run over there and take some shots at my Dwarfs, and he doesn't really he doesn't kill any. So he's got 10 shots, and I've got the soft cover being in the trees, and strength 3 shooting. You know, the Night Goblin shooting is not so good. So, but he's positioned there to let me have it on the next turn. And then he does his magic phase and Foot of Gork. He did the Hand of Gork first, and I used my Spell Eater rune, and I removed it. I was just more worried about him getting close to me with those savages, and it's a coin toss which one to do. When I play Orcs and Goblins, I so rarely get the foot to hit. It always seems to drift off and then end or stomp one of my units. But he gets 3 in a row. One drifts off a little bit and clips, and the other 2 are solid hits, and he kills a lot of guys. He knocks that unit down to half. They don't panic though, so that's a good thing. That would have been even worse. But you know, it's a coin toss, and I got rid of the hand, so I don't have to worry about any units showing up right next to me. So can't take too much of that stomping. And after 3 stomps, it goes away. It doesn't stomp him or anybody else. So on my turn, I reform my Rangers. So I just kind of wheel them or something. I don't think I really actually reform them. And I can still shoot with my throwing axes. So I just go ahead and do a little wheel, and I'm going to throw some throwing axes at him. And then when he charges me, I have quick to fire. I'll throw some more throwing axes at him. My copter fiddles up kind of in the middle there. It's just basically going to bait the savages into charging, and I'll flee. My Iron Drake's in vanguarded behind this tower here, and you know, in retrospect, I put him in a bit of a pickle. 50 goblins ish over here with a wizard, and then all this stuff over here. So they're just kind of trying to use that cover to minimize some of the shooting from the night goblins, yet stay far enough away from the savages so I don't get crushed. On his turn too, he charges with the wolves or the spiders, and I stand and shoot. And either that first phase or the next one, I'm able to kill 2. And then he makes a pretty decent charge with the chariot. It wasn't really that far, but yeah, goodbye Rangers. And he does try to charge my gyrocopter, and I flee, and he only kind of stumbles ahead about 4 inches, so that's nice. The night goblins on the left there are kind of just working their way up. You know, those fanatics are nasty. I don't really have much to draw them out. I probably should use my rangers for that instead of just throwing them away over there. His next time, he throws a foot, and he scatters off my dwarf unit, my thunders. He was really trying to let him have it, and then he rolls a 1, and I stomp the boar boys. The reason I stopped the boar boys, that was just a unit that I thought I could maybe destroy and force some panic checks on the savages and the one, but wasn't completely destroyed. And that's just a picture of him advancing on my right. I don't really have anything over here. I have some slayers behind a rocky outcropping of this hill. They're just kind of laying in wait and to see if he continues advancing, but he moves up to that wall to kind of give him some protection in case I would fire an organ gun or something over there. There's just really no point in me trying to work on that unit when I've got those savages sitting right in the middle. He starts throwing his hex spells on me. Gork will fix it, so re-rolling 6s to hit, to armor saves, and maybe to wound. So yeah, 6s after reroll 6s. And you know, when you're shooting and needing 5s or 6s, that can affect you quite a bit. On my turns, you know, I am shooting what I can. I'm actually a couple times I have my special character next to the organ gun and in my unit, so I'm throwing the buff on the organ gun. I'm shooting almost everything I have at that savages. But I'm not able to really do anything to him. I do spend a turn shooting, and I kill that last orc boy on the boar chariot, and it does cause a panic check on the night goblins, so they flee away from it, and they end up running behind the unit of 50. They were probably in the last picture there. But so on his turn, he charges the cannon. I had cannonballed his orc boar chariot, and it actually took 3 cannonballs, 2 from the last turn, and then finally 1 from this turn. So yeah, 3 cannonballs to kill the chariot. It's not good. But yeah, he charges the cannon there. I've already repositioned my hammers to preparing for that. I kind of knew it was going to happen. And you see his goblins running. They continue running on back behind the unit of hoarded up goblins with the bows behind the wall. They're heading towards the board edge. And here he surprised me. I figured he would move up full speed, 8 inches, and really put me in a position to charge either unit. And I was afraid, but I was really starting to freak out because I didn't. If I fled with my Iron Drakes, then he'd be able to charge him again with these guys. So he does. He gets tired of waiting and he moves them up. On my turn, I turn my Iron Drakes around. I reform them facing the other way, and I go ahead and elect to move my Slayers up. I know they're going to get shot at. I'm just relying on their toughness 4, and I'm going to let them take a few shots. In the middle of the board, it's kind of a stalemate. I cannot do any wounds to the savages. He's making 5 up ward saves like a boss. I mean, I'm plinking off one or two, but it's really not enough. And over here also on in his goblins, his Night Goblin wizard ends up killing himself on a couple miscasts, and he rolled real well. It was like a strength 6 hit, and he did it twice or 3 times. I don't know. He ended up killing himself off. So on the far left here, well, not far left, center more, I have reformed my Thunderers, and I'm just kind of giving up a few shots since I'm not doing that much damage anyway. I'm trying to reduce my frontage. I don't want those Night Goblins getting into me. My hammers made quick work of the spiders. They elected not to overrun, but I am in a position that couldn't do much. So on the far right here, he's just he's about ready to start shooting, I think, into my Slayers. It looks like I took off a few models. I must have fired a few shots into them, maybe an organ gun or something. But actually, the Iron Drakes had reformed, swift reformed, with the musician in there, and they're able to shoot.
Independent! Fire at will!
It's very nice of you.
Well, with that many bodies, it's just a lot of work to do, and it's just not gonna be able to beat them that way. Over on the left here, I'm just working on those Night Goblins, whittling them down. My hammers are in the woods there, so he's not coming close enough to launch his fanatics because they'll just die when they hit the woods. Over here, I do a dual charge. The Iron Drakes only needed a few inches, so they made it pretty easily. The Slayers actually needed to roll like a 10, and they've got some pent-up frustrations from 2 battles of not really doing anything. So they make the long charge, and they're in there. Should be enough, hopefully, to throw enough wounds on him to make him make a leadership check, even though he's steadfast. Over on the left here, I finished off that Night Goblin unit, I believe, with an organ gun, and maybe some rifles. Might just been the organ gun. So back over to here, this is pretty much, the big combat. He is outside of his general and his BSB by about 2.5 inches or so. So, he's steadfast, but he's goblins, so they're only steadfast on leadership 6. So with the strength 5 from the Iron Drakes, strength 4 from the Slayers, he goes first, kills a few Slayers, and I still get my death blows, 1 attack each on the death blows, and I'm able to put enough wounds on him to win the combat, even with his +4 starting. And he fails his leadership 6 and flees, and I actually roll enough to run him down. So I don't even really move my models because it's pretty much the end of the game. In the center, it was the end of the game, so we didn't need to move anything. And in the center, it's just can't really do much of those savages. Post game, we spoke, and actually one of the tournament organizers was going around, and very, very nice guy, talking about dwarves quite a bit. He asked my opponent why he didn't, he surprised his eye that the savages weren't in there tearing some stuff up. Taking the bow, and he's got the magic advantage for sure, and the bows, and he's just trying to put them shots in there. But man, savage biggins, they're rough. Without the additional hand weapon, maybe they're not quite so bad, but I did not want to find out. With the 5-up ward save, if you're rolling the ward saves like my opponent was every time I shot at those guys, he would definitely have carried the day. So it turns out with there's some extra victory conditions and the points we scored. I didn't really lose anything. Retained my points, even though my Thunders got smashed by the foot early on. I was able to maintain my points, and with picking up the peripheral units and him killing one of his wizards, I'm able to get like an 18-2 win. So a victory for the Dwarves. Had a good match against my opponent. It was an interesting list, an interesting concept. So I had a good time. And again, take 1 second and show you a very beautiful army that I saw there. I took some pictures of it. Look at these guys. There's a lot of nice armies there, but this one in particular was amazing. All these shields and this white flame and the banners is all hand painted. When I first walked over, I actually asked him if it was a sticker on his shields, but no, this is all hand painted. All this back work, and all these guys are the same. Not like he just did a Lord to top notch. This picture is a little blurry. I got a little better one, but all the shields are painted similarly, and you know, that's a lot of work for spearmen. You know, and you know, it's amazing. It shows really well. You got a little side view here, and also he's got some sword masters. So that closing, beautiful model, beautiful hobby. Thanks for watching my battle reports. Any comments and anything you want to post is more than welcome. Thank you for watching, and have a great day. Thanks.